How's it going, guys? Today is March 11th, 2:04 p.m. here on the East Coast. So I wanted to do today's vlog. Actually, I'm going to do two vlogs because I didn't get a chance to do one yesterday. And the first one's going to be about random acts of kindness. So not yesterday, well, yesterday, and then the day before, I had, while I was at school, I had somebody come up to me, and as I was approaching a vending machine, I had this same hat that I'm wearing on. And I'll show you the other side of the hat. Please pardon my hair. But it says, let's see, Iraqi Freedom Veteran. So, because I did serve in the Iraq War, and the guy saw the hat as I was walking to the vending machine, comes up, shakes my hand, says thank you for my service, and wants to buy me whatever drink I'm going to get out of the vending machine. So he tries to put in a $1 bill, it wouldn't take it. Then another dollar bill, it wouldn't take it. So he ended up using his credit card. I guess today's day and age, there's credit card on vending machines, so there's no way to stop you from purchasing what you want. So he did that, ended up buying me my drink, which was around $3.25 or 75 cents. It was one of those Starbucks drinks. I was feeling kind of tired that day, like a double shot energy. I don't know what it's called, but he did end up buying me a drink, and it kind of sat with me that day. And as I was walking to the library to go study and do some other stuff that I had to do for the following class, I was just thinking to myself, man, that really was nice, and that was the first time that I can remember that anybody has ever bought me a drink. You would think maybe somebody would buy me an alcoholic drink or a beverage at first. And I've been out plenty of places in my uniform. You're not allowed to drink in one, and you are allowed to drink in like your dress uniform. But it was the first time somebody ever bought me a beverage, and I was, kind of taken back by it because it's never happened before. One, it happened after I got out of the service. Two, and then it happened when I was not in uniform, just wearing this hat. It represents a lot to me, which was a Christmas present for my wife this last Christmas. So I was, like I said, taken back by it, and in a good way, because I was very happy. And I always try to do random acts of kindness myself. Like if I see people on the street asking for money, typically I'll give it to them. Or me and my daughter will approach them, and I'll have her give them some money just to kind of brighten their day. And it also teaches my daughter humility and I think kindness on a couple different levels. So that's why I have her do it sometimes. But for me, having that experience happen to me was pretty changing. I told the guy that he didn't have to buy me a drink. I appreciated the gesture, but he said he really wanted to, so I let him. And sometimes you can't you can't stop people. You can't be the person who stops people from feeling better. If anything, maybe that guy felt better after he bought me a drink. I know I felt better because of what he did, and he probably felt better too. So it's these random acts of kindness that I think we should all participate on a daily basis. I firmly believe in giving in order to receive, and it's weird. I have like this mentality where I will give. If it comes to spending money on myself, I'm kind of very frugal. But when it comes to spending money on others, whether it's my wife, mom, brothers, anybody else family related, you can take the same amount, like let's say it's $200, and there's no way I'd spend that on me, on one single thing. But if it came to spending that on my little brother, like I remember for his wedding, I bought him a pair of some pretty nice shoes that he wanted to wear to the reception, and they were like some, high-end shoes. They were like $150. There was no way I would have bought those shoes for myself, and I easily could have bought them, but I chose not to because I rather do that for somebody else. I don't see a necessity for me to have it, but I did see not a necessity for them to have it either, but it just makes me feel better that I can help somebody out sometimes that I can help. And so I firmly, like I said, believe in giving in order to receive, and I'm always giving way more than I'm receiving. But that's not because I'm intentionally doing it or I'm expecting a lot to come back in karma, but it's one of those things where I just like doing it, and I believe that it comes back tenfold. You know what I mean? So when it comes to doing random acts of kindness, I definitely would um, say participate in them. Do some small acts here and there just to see how they make you feel. If you get any sort of gratitude from doing it or from having it done to you, if you're somebody who's ever experienced the receiving end like I did 2 days ago, and then yesterday I had a guy who came up to me and thanked me for my service, which has happened a lot more often now that I'm wearing this hat. Um, but a lot of people come up and thank you for their service, and I didn't know how to reply at first once I got out of the military. Even while I was in the military, believe it or not, it happens more frequently once you're outside of the military, because when you're in the military, everybody that's pretty much surrounds you is a service member. So it's just, it kind of goes without saying. And then once you're in a place where you're not near a base, more people pay attention to it. So I definitely appreciate the small things that people do for me. I like doing it for small things for people, and I encourage other people to do the same and see how it is that it makes you feel. I know how it made me feel, and I will continue to do these things, and I will introduce this into my daughter's life as well, because I believe that nothing but good can come of it. It's not like a malicious intent. It has no bad things attached to it. It's nothing but good natured things, and it's just helping your neighbor out, or if that's what it is, or if you want to do some sort of random act and like somebody bought me a drink, then you can buy somebody a drink, or for no reason at all, or if you appreciate what they did for you, or if you feel like they're not being appreciated. So, and I think back to this story where my uncle, I was a kid, my uncle had given me $5, and to me that was a lot of money. And he told me not to spend it all in one place. So as we're walking up to this arena, we're going to some sort of event, and I remember taking the $5 that I had with me to the event, although, he said maybe I shouldn't bring it because I'll probably end up spending it. It was some sort of arena, some sort of big event. So as we're walking up to the event, there was a for lack of better words, maybe a homeless man or a bum there. I remember it. He was like sitting on the sidewalk as we were approaching this arena or something similar of that caliber. And as we're walking up to it, I pulled out my $5 and I was going to go give it to the guy. My uncle said, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And I don't know if he was testing me or what. And I said, "Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he could use it way more than I can." So I gave him my $5, and I never really knew the concept of what I was doing then. I just know that, I had clothes, shoes, everything I could possibly need, full stomach at that point in time. And I was really young, probably around 6 years old, maybe 7 at most, possibly 5. And I gave this man my $5 that I had gotten earlier that day. And I'm sure that resonated with my uncle. He didn't really say much to me about it, or even after that I can remember. But I do remember the situation. I do remember doing that on my own. And it's something that's kind of always been with me. So I remember these little things that I've done for people, and I don't know, what happened to these people afterwards. I just do it because I genuinely care for other people who are in less fortunate situations. I believe everybody's afforded the same opportunity as they start out in life. Some people are a little less fortunate than others, but that doesn't necessarily box them into what they can be in the future. Even if you start out in a very impoverished state or bad part of the country, you don't have to stay there. You can, obviously make something of yourself and move out, or rely heavily on education and find a way out. There's nobody who's boxed into that so aggressively that they can't find a way out. And sometimes that's a story that gets pushed on to people, like those people don't have a way out. But I believe that we're all afforded the same opportunity to make something of ourselves. Now, if something happens to you while you're doing that, then that's a different story. But initially, you're given the same opportunity, and the decisions you make based on that opportunity is kind of what's going to set the tone for you in the future. So as I see people in less fortunate situations than me, and I'm not in some great fortunate situation, I'm, your average civilian. an average person in today's society. I work hard for what's mine, and I make sure to help out people where I can. And that's not to say that I'm always helping out people, I'm always volunteering, I'm always doing stuff. But when I'm given the opportunity, um, I'm the type of guy that would sit in traffic, see somebody asking for money, and a majority of people roll up their window. I'm the type to roll down my window, and it's not. And you help out these people, and sometimes there's bad stigma associated with it, but sometimes there's great stigma associated with it. Like if you actually see some other YouTube videos where they give these homeless people money, and they take the money and they go buy necessities like a pillow or food, water, things to just survive. And I've seen, countless videos of that, of people doing good things where they take the money and they go spread it among their friends who are also homeless or also, in the similar situations. And to me, it's so gratifying to see that people, even in much less fortunate situations, are still willing to give, even if they have so little to give. They still give. So why shouldn't I give if I'm in if I'm in what I consider a fortunate situation? It doesn't place me above them whatsoever. You should give back always and consistently. And it's not, like I said, in order to receive anything or expect anything. It's just helping out people who may need the help. And I knew this random act of the person who bought the drink for me out of the vending machine may not have been trying to help me out. It was more of a sign of appreciation for what I've done. So if you have people in your life who you appreciate, figure out things that you could do for them to show them that you appreciate them. These random acts may not seem so random at times, and they may be premeditated. They may be thought about, a lot prior to committing the act. So that's not to say that you can't do these things, but just take the time to reflect back and see when you've been given an opportunity, if you see somebody that's in need, and try to help them out to the best of your ability. And if you can't, you can't. But if you can, do it and see how you feel about it. I'm sure that you'll feel better. And if you don't, then maybe it just doesn't feel right with you. It doesn't sit right with you. But at least give it a try is what I would say, and see how it makes you feel. I've been both on the receiving and giving end, and it makes me happy to no end when people do it for me, but I feel some sort of pity because the association that I have with giving it's most times out of, people who are in less fortunate situations. So for somebody who does it for me, where I can afford my own drink, it just shows some sort of appreciation for me that I appreciate, and I like seeing, and it's nothing but a good thing that comes from it. So on another note, I'm gonna be doing a second video today, as I do when I don't get the opportunity to post a daily video. So that next one will be on goals. So please be sure to check it out. I appreciate your comments, likes, subscribes, and everything attached to my channel. I definitely appreciate you guys helping this channel become what it is and continue to see it grow. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys on the next one.